Alright, so I want you to imagine one of your favorite games ever. You know, a game that you really enjoy and have spent a lot of time on. Now I want you to imagine the publisher of your game coming over and taking a massive, stinking shit all over your game, completely ruining it and making it unplayable forever. Well, for me, that game was The Crew, and the publisher was Ubisoft. But for those of you who don't know what The Crew is a series of racing games. There's 3 of them. And it all started in 2013 with the original Crew. Now, the original premise of The Crew was that you had this big, open, online world to drive on. And it was actually a recreation of the entire US. You could drive from San Francisco to Washington, D.C. if you really wanted to. It would take like an hour, but you could do that. And what I loved so much about this game was that it was one of the last truly story-based and underground racing games. Because if you didn't know, pretty much every racing game now is completely sanitized and completely boring. And they're all pretty much made for Fortnite kids. I mean, look at Need for Speed Unbound, for example. Good lord, what is this? I mean, look at this game. Look at it. It's kind of cool, but it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, the characters are pretty much Fortnite skins. Anyways, though, I'm getting a little bit off topic here. The game I'm focusing on is, the Crew one, because the other Crew games are kinda awful. Like, Ubisoft pretty much ran the series into the ground. But I mean, what did Ubisoft do exactly? What is the horrible thing that they did to The Crew? Well, they took the original premise of The Crew 1, which, as I mentioned, was gritty, underground, had a well-written story. And they pretty much took that idea and threw it in the trash. Because The Crew 2 is awful. For The Crew 2, instead of hiring good writers and planning out good game design, Ubisoft decided to test out the infinite monkey theory. Now, if you don't know what that is, the infinite monkey theory is the theory that if you give monkeys a typewriter and infinite time, they will write Shakespeare. And well, it turns out that theory is not true. Because instead of writing Shakespeare, they wrote the story of The Crew 2. Because, I'll tell you, the writing and the premise of the entire game is terrible. You know how you level up in The Crew 2? You know how most games it's like, XP or something normal? Well, in The Crew 2, it's based off of followers. That's right, like Instagram followers. What a great idea, right? Like, you know how the original game was all dark and underground? What if we made the new game about Instagram? Oh, what a good idea! I bet all of the corporate people at Ubisoft thought it was such a good idea. They're like, oh, the kids, they love social media. What if we made the whole game about social media? Oh, I'm so smart. Oh. And you know what they also did? They said, fuck it. What if we added boats and planes into our car racing game? That would be cool, right? The kids would love that.
Wrong!
Not only does it not make any sense to add those, because who asked for that? Who wants that in their racing game? I know I sure don't. But they also had to downgrade the graphics to accommodate these new vehicles. So The Crew 1 already looked pretty bad. It didn't look very good. And then here comes The Crew 2. Years later. It's 2016 now.
Hey, so I probably should have checked the dates before recording this. Apparently, I got them all wrong. So anyways, the date is 2018, and that makes it even worse. So, yeah. Games are starting to look good now. And here's The Crew 2 coming out looking even worse than the original Crew. I mean, look at this side by side here. Tell me which game looks better. So yeah, The Crew 2 kinda sucks. But what about the newest game, The Crew Motorfest? Well, I'll be honest with you, I haven't even bought it yet. And you wanna know why? Well, it's because it's not even a Crew game. It shouldn't even have the name The Crew on there. It should just be Motorfest, because
It's not a Crew game. The original idea of the Crew is so completely lost. It's so far gone in the Crew Motorfest. It doesn't even take place on the entire US, which was the whole gimmick of the Crew. It takes place in Hawaii, which is cool. I like Hawaii, never been, but it looks cool, right? But you know what? That's the entire map, is these little islands, instead of having the entire US. And you know, from the trailers and reviews that I've seen in the game, Ubisoft has completely gone off the deep end because the game looks ridiculous. Like, how did we go from this?
The East Coast is all about cars and cash. High-end rides come in from Europe. Money and other merchandise goes out. The region is run by a cat named Eric Sue.
To this.
I got a question for you guys, and buckle up, Buttercup, cause it's a doozy. Freaking lightning, baby!
What? Why? What? So this brings me to my main point of this video. Ubisoft realized that no one was buying their shitty game, and they had the genius idea of, let's just shut down the original Crew so people have to buy the new one. Oh, I'm so smart! Because if you didn't know, the Crew one was online only. So instead of, just quickly making an offline version, they just said, screw it. You can't play the Crew one anymore. You know that game you paid money for and put all that time into? Well, we're gonna take it away from you. Like, seriously, they took it out of people's libraries, which is ridiculous. I mean, I'll be honest here, sure, the player counts were getting kind of low. The game's a decade old, so it didn't have that many active players, right? But I always liked coming back to it and, kind of going on a nostalgia trip, because the Crew was a game that I always wanted as a kid. In 2013, I was stuck in the Xbox 360, and sure, they had an Xbox 360 version of the game, but it looked like hot ass. I mean, look at this.
Return the slab.
What?
Return the slab, or suffer my curse.
So when I finally got Xbox One in 2016, the first game I played was The Crew. So the game meant a lot to me. But then here comes Ubisoft coming in and pretty much deleting the game. Which brings me to my next point, which is stop killing games. By now, you've probably heard about this movement or petition or whatever it is. I think it had some controversy or something recently. I don't know. I don't really care. I signed it, that was it. But the premise is this. As we all move from physical games to digital games, it's becoming kind of worrying that companies can just come in and take our games. Games that we spent our hard-earned money on. It would be like if you bought, I don't know, a car, and then Henry Ford comes in and says, nope, we're taking it back because we aren't making enough money off it. I don't know, maybe that's not the best comparison, but you get what I'm saying, right? So the whole goal of the movement or whatever is just to ensure that companies can't kill games, they can't take away games. And it all started when the Crew shut down last year. But anyways, with all that being said, there is still hope for the Crew. We actually could play it again very soon. Like, it actually might be out by the time this video goes up. And what I'm talking about here is the Crew Unlimited. Now, the Crew Unlimited is a group of very dedicated people who are making fan servers for the Crew. And if everything goes well and Ubisoft, doesn't pull Ubisoft and shut it down, which wouldn't surprise me at this point with their track record, we might be able to play the Crew 1 by this summer, like right now, very soon, who knows? If you're on PC and you are interested in that, I'll leave a link to the Discord down below. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. Oh, I'm gonna ask you, before you go, I'm gonna ask you to like, subscribe, comment, because I'm trying to reach 5K subs by the end of the year. Previous goal was 2K subs, but you guys kind of smashed that, so thank you. And yeah, goodbye.
My name is Walter Hartwell White.